Alright guys, I've had a couple different requests to show some more of the workings of how I've got this engine in here. I want to go over a few things with you. I'm trying to show you my shifter I made. Just a simple shaft that's grooved on each side for O-rings, and it's greased so it's sealed from the weather. Pivots to your linkage to a rod that goes back underneath the seat. Comes back here to a rod that I installed with it's just got a screw in the end of it, and the threads are just bottomed out so that way it doesn't tighten up on the mount right there, so it just pivots. So when you mash your gear shifter, comes over here to the rod, which comes back underneath the belly of the engine. You can see the front engine mounts. That comes back to the shifter, which allows you to change gears. Works pretty trick. Anyway, you can see where I had to cut the frame. Actually, I think I've still got here's the leftover piece that I actually cut out of it. So if you decide to take on a project like this, this is what you're going to have to remove. This is your front engine mount brace. Alright. There's where I had to reinstall a new pipe going down, tighten into one on the other side. You can see my firewall I had to make. There's a lot of heat issues with the header being so close to the seats, so I had to make a firewall with heat tape on the inside of the firewall, plus the header's also wrapped with heat tape. And I want to show you for my gearing ratio, the way I've got this thing set up. This is a 12 tooth front sprocket and a 22 tooth here. You can't go a whole lot bigger. You can probably go to a 28, but you're going to run into clearance issues right here. And if you run a 13 up front, you don't need this. Your chain will be perfect from here to here. You won't need this to take up any slack. But I found the 13 tooth on the front was just a little bit fast. First gear was kind of fast, and I like to have a little granny gear for off-roading. So I put this in here to take up the slack. And when you want to take up some more further adjustment, I put in these right here. I know this is a solid mount, but when you tighten this up, if I can get this in here, you tighten this up right here on the back side and pulls on that, it will pull the top of this transmission back, which will tighten up your chain. And it don't take much when you've got this in place. It doesn't take much back here to actually take up any slack at all. Very little. So, but it does a great job. And without that, this thing under torque, it would actually loosen this chain and pop over and slip over the gear. So this was a must-have right here to keep the top of the transmission from torquing forward. But once it's in place, it does good. You can see I had some more. Here's the heat wrap, and I had some more heat issues with the header coming around. It was so close to the air filters, it actually started to melt my air filter. So I had to make another heat shield with heat tape on the inside of it to protect it from the air filter, and of course the gas line, kind of important. I think you can pretty well see it all from right there. Down here to the bottom, engine mount. It's kind of hard to see. But that'll give you an idea, a little more of the mechanics behind it. See the shifter rod, and here's my clutch. You can see it right there. I just simply mounted the clutch perch off of the handlebars from a Raptor, and just let the clutch hang down here. It gives you a good place to hold on to while you're cruising anyway. Yeah, I didn't get fancy with the choke. It's just on there. Just pull it. And that's just something you use once to ride. So, but there it is. Oh, and the top engine mount. This is removable, rather versus just welding this in here. If you do that, your engine becomes permanent. You can't never take it out. So you have to make this mount removable. And also you can service the head. You can service the whole top end from without taking the engine out of the buggy now. Let me come around the other side. Now you can see it better. Instead of just bolting this flat to the bar, I felt like you still might have a little tendency to torque and tweak up and down. I put these pieces on here, kind of like a finger, kind of wraps around the bar to kind of hold it. When you bolt this down tight, that's going to squeeze up on there. It just kind of holds it from any up and down torquing issues. Everything's real solid. I haven't had any issues with anything coming loose, anything moving under torque, except for the transmission trying to flex and torque under a load. But you put in those straps on the back, that'll fix it right up. And that's about it. Just trying to give you guys a better idea if anyone out there tries to take on a project like this of themselves. But it's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding, very fun. Thanks a lot.